Anyone who tells you Bathsheba seduced David needs to sit a few plays out and learn to read their Bible better. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. And we find the story of David and Bathsheba in 2 Samuel 11. And if you look at the narrative, you will see that Bathsheba's agency and consent are never once addressed because they were never once relevant. This was the king, and the king got to do whatever he wanted. The text has him taking her. It was not the messengers who took her. It says, and he took her. This is referencing the fact that back then, sex was not a mutual activity engaged in by two equal partners. Sex was something that an active sexual agent, overwhelmingly and by default a man, did to a passive sexual object, overwhelmingly and by default a woman. And the agency and the consent of that passive sexual object didn't register. It just did not matter. And whenever the Bible gets close to acknowledging the agency of women, it generally represents them as not being very interested in sex. And the only exception is when they're trying to represent somebody rhetorically as being a seductress. And that rhetoric is not anywhere near 2 Samuel 11. This story is about the king doing what he wanted with someone else's sexual property, Bathsheba. They didn't have the category of rape back then the way we do now because consent and agency just weren't an issue. But by today's standards, it was David who raped Bathsheba.